Well, the bench is a mess, but I wanted to get this rifle on the bench. I just picked this up at a gun show yesterday, and it's going to get head of the line privileges. So if you're waiting to see more on some of my other projects, it might have to wait a little bit. This is one that I've been wanting to play with for a while. This is a Ruger 77, and it's in 7x57 Mauser. It's a Tang safety model, dates to 1976. It is a 200-year of American Liberty rifle. Doesn't mean anything, doesn't add value, it's just Ruger stamped them all that way in 76. Steel-wise, I'd say the gun's 100%. Wood-wise, it's less than 100%. It's got a couple of tiny little things, like right here, a little bit of a compression from something being carried. There's a couple more little ones on this side. Nothing is broken the finish. I believe that I can steam them and everything will come out fine. Pad's in good shape. It's all in good shape. Why am I interested? Well, two reasons. Number one, I believe, the best of my recollection, a rifle like this one, I think a couple years earlier, was the first centerfire rifle I ever fired. One of my dad's friends had one, and I believe that it was the first one that I ever fired. All in the same day, I shot a 77 in 7x57 and a 270 in a model 77 and a couple of other things, but I do believe that the 7x57 was first, so I've always wanted one. The other reason is I don't think there is a firearm that is more maligned on the internet than the Ruger Tang Safety Model 77 in 7x57 Mauser. You will find people that just downright say they don't shoot. There's other people that say the rifling is too fast. There's other people that say the throat is too long. There's some people that'll say it'll only shoot 170, 175 grain round nose bullets. There's so much gun lore regarding this particular model that I'm going to find out for myself. So that's what we're going to do. So right now the plan is my understanding is that there's a couple of different twist rates. I don't know if it's true or not. It's only what I've read. I don't believe everything I read. I check it out for myself. I'm going to see what twist this one is. We'll stick a cleaning rod down it and see how fast the rifling is and go from there. Run a patch through it, see how clean the bore is and whatnot, and then I'm going to mount this loophole on it. This is a Variax 2C 4-12. We'll put this on there to get started. This isn't what'll end up on the rifle. I'm assuming that it'll clear. This has the standard Ruger rings. These are the rings that it came with the rifle. Boy, somebody really Bucky beavered up the screws, and there's one scrape in the finish there. So I do have another set that are in better shape. These screws are a little better, but not perfect. I have replacement Torx screws for these. You can get them from Ruger. They're very inexpensive, so I will probably upgrade these rings to the Torx screws, and then keep my eye out for some slotted ones that are in decent shape. But these are a no-go. Those were chewed up a little bit too much for my taste. So we'll just set those to the side and do something different, and see what the twist is. Go from there and figure out some ammo and give it a go. But like I said, I'd like to get this one out. I've got a lot of other things cooking right now. I've been fooling with several different things, but this one's got enough of my interest that I'm at least going to get a scope on it and do some initial shooting through it. I've got quite a bit of 7mm stuff to play with. I do have some 170, 174 grain round nose bullets that I can do some things with. I believe that it certainly will shoot. It's just a matter of finding what it likes. I'm hoping that it will like the round nose bullets, the longer, heavier round nose bullets, around 2350, 2400 feet per second, to be something that shoots gentle, but has good downrange effect. So we'll move forward. We'll get it straightened up, cleaned up, get the scope mounted on it, and go from there. So I'll get busy. I'll check the rifling twist and see how it goes. Okay, let's start by running a patch through the doggone thing and see what we pull out of the bore. I glanced down it and it looks pretty clean, but you never know what you can pull out of them. Sometimes it'll surprise you every now and then. On these 77s, the clearance between the bolt and the comb of the stock is really tight right here, so I try to always make sure I put something on there just so I don't see there's very little clearance there, just so I don't chew it up. Because boy, if you garf it right there, that's one of those ones that you see every time you touch the rifle and you get to remember it forever. So let's run a patch through it real quick, see what we get. It's funny, you can tell I'm a Mauser guy. I pulled the ejector box out to clear my bore guide, but 77s don't have an extractor blade on there because they're really not controlled feed. At least Tang safety ones are really not controlled feed. They have a button ejector like a Remington or anything else, so there isn't that goofy blade right in the way, the ejector blade. But we got a 7mm Jag here. I'm just going to run a dry patch through it first, and it might fall out the end of the barrel. I might not get a look at it because I got the rifle across the bench here. Just see what that feels like through there. It feels nice and smooth. I like that. I did see some gunk spit out of there when I pulled it off. More waxy and gunky than dirty. Let's push another one through just to see what we get. And then I'll spin it around and we'll see if we can't figure out what the twist is. I might be able to figure out the twist on this end, but it's difficult to pull it back. We can try it. Yeah, that's not too bad. It almost looked like they were shooting cast out of it. It almost looks like bullet lube that's coming out of there. Okay, so now I'm set up to try to measure the twist rate here. Put on a patch. Get it started. Alright, that's getting into the bore there a little bit. Right about there. So now let's go ahead and do a mark on the rod. About right there, and then we'll mark it on the top. And I'm guessing that this is going to be about a 1 8¼ twist. So just to get an index mark, I'm going to go right about here, and I'll just mark the top of the rod right here at about 8½, 9 inches. And this will just help me gauge the rotation. So we'll push it in till we get one full turn. And that's 3/4 of a turn there, which that surprises me. So let's, may have gotten some slip there. We'll see. Let's extend that back to about the 10-inch range. See if that continues to come around or if I'm slipping. Okay, so right there, if that measurement is correct, if it didn't slip, we're right about here, which that surprises me. That's a little longer than I expected. Let's pull her back out and see what happens. Okay, there's my up again. So if that's correct, we would be 9 3/4. So let's take another try at it. See if I can get things. I see it's trying to spin on me there, so we'll have to clean our marks off probably. Actually, it's letting me twist, so I'm gonna run this up until that's lined up again. Right, that's about lined up. I'll twist it around the tighten direction. Okay, there we go. Let's see what we get this time. Try to push it real nicely. I don't see it slipping. It looks like it's rotating. Still rotating. Still rotating. Still rotating. Still rotating. Yeah, that gave me the same number. Okay, let's do it another time. I thought the twist was going to be faster than that. See, I've read that there's differing twist rates, and I don't know when they changed or what the real answer is, but we'll just measure it a couple of times and see what we get. See if I can get that lined up good again. Okay, that's lined up. There's my vertical. Let's push it in and see what we get. That came to that line again 3 times. So that very well may be what it is. Let's measure that again and see what we get. Yep. That's telling me 9 3/4. I'll have to see if that lines up with other things that I've read that some of them were 9 3/4. Very interesting. I was expecting it to be 8 and some change, so that's kind of interesting.